welcome everybody. For the people that have been practicing for a while that are here, that would be Carol, Pat, Sharon. Ladies, we had a fantastic week. We discovered a lot of things. This whole Mindsight thing is a work in progress. I just happen to be one person that has a passion, but I do not hold all the cards. Nobody holds all the cards. Our students and participants are the ones that hold the cards. And I'm telling you, we had a fantastic bunch and they discovered several things. I'm so excited and pleased about that. And there's more things to discover. The ladies know Dahlia. Dahlia was very involved, not just with demonstrating. Dahlia was working one-to-one, very close with every single person. And we had fantastic results. We had like 90% success rate. David, could you just introduce yourself? Say a little bit about your experiences over the week.
I'm David Hodson. I had a marvelous experience out in the workshop. Mindsight opened later part of day 5. It stayed open for day 6.
Odell was the oldest person there. And on what day did your full Seeing the Room Mindsight open, Odell?
Wednesday, I believe it was.
Let's give him a round of applause, you guys.
Yeah, I thought it would probably take, I'd either be the last one of the week there or another week or maybe as long as a month or something. A year or two ago, I would have said this is absolutely impossible. You got to be crazy to believe this stuff.
The oldest guy in the room, his opened up fairly quick, and that was a big inspiration for the rest. Takes all the excuses away from every single person.
Well, hello, I'm Maya Tucker. I'm definitely seeing the pinhole, and I have seen outside my window. I told this to you, Rob.
Thanks, Maya.
My name's also Starbuck. I've done a lot of meditation over the past few years. A wonderful time at the Orlando event. Laughed more consecutively than I think I have in a very long time. While I was at the event, had 2 very good windows open up. Just playing around this morning, I have 2 foggy windows that, in my understanding, are way behind my perceptual field. I've got 2 above my head, and then 2 kind of foggy ones showing up in front of me that I'm really excited to play with. I really love hearing everyone's stories. It really shows me all the different avenues you can explore to expand this.
Heidi.
It's amazing. I wasn't sure if I was going to open, and it was just when you start seeing those pinholes and you get that little tiny window, it's like, woo! But yeah, I guess Vanessa was my partner. Where's Vanessa on here? There's so many people. I got one eye I'm blind in one eye, Pat. So that's why I went to this. I want to give Vanessa credit because she held up the board and I was seeing behind it through the board, which is so cool. I mean, when you start thinking about that stuff, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to Vanessa, but it was beyond. It was amazing. So
it was amazing to watch her. It took me a minute because when you're working with somebody, you're trying to figure out what are they, seeing and not seeing. And after a while, I'm like, before I could pull the card up, I was trying to hide them behind the board so the others wouldn't blind her. But before I could pull them around, she was already seeing them behind the board. So I just kept going with it without telling her, and it was incredible to watch.
I'm Judy Dearman. I kind of found out about this at the last minute and was so grateful I was able to get on board with you guys. I had the windows a little bit, the hazy windows, and then I started seeing like here and then a little underneath. And then since I've been home, I've been playing with it, and it's like it's kind of lightening up coming in this way.
And Vanessa.
Yeah, I was at the recent event. And it was just incredible. And I got to the point where, I started off with the pinholes and the big white views that I couldn't get through. But as I was the one that loved eating the pencils.
Everybody got a full pack of pencils.
Every time I would bite on that, my window would spread open, and it was great. And I got to work with Danny at one point, and she wanted me to try a few things. And I was like a little kid going, I don't want to do that. I want to work on this one window over here. And she's like, no, we try all. And as soon as she tried something else, the other one started to pop open when I wasn't concentrating. So thank goodness people get you out of your comfort zone. I got to the point, it was the last 5 minutes of our very last day of the last training. And I said, that's it. I'm going to throw both patches on, throw the blindfold on, and I am going to see. through everything. So I literally in the last 3 minutes started to see the sliding glass doors, something about 12 horizontal posts, I guess. And then I could see my two fingers going like this. I don't want to wear the patches anymore. And I'm just practicing with the blindfold. That proved to me, okay, I got that over with. So now I can just keep working on the blindfold as it is. And my intent is to start looking at these things going forward.
Neil, you know both group. You know
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm the bridge, I think. I'm one of the bridges, I guess. Yeah, I think it was day two. I was able to start to make out colors from either left or right side. And I was like, yeah, that can't be real. So I said, I'll believe it if I can put on the patches. The second evening, I was able to see through the patches a little bit. And then the third day, I couldn't see through the patches. And the fourth day, I could see through the patches. So been off and on. So yeah.
Yay!
Excellent. So now he's right up there with Artie. Katie and Chad.
We just had a really great week, a big week. We basically stayed up till like 2 a.m. every night because we were those students that wouldn't stop playing, and there's just too many toys, and it's just awesome. The people there really make it. So thank you to everybody who we talked to and met, and we could collaborate and play with each other. It really, really helped because when you're feeling down, they'll pick you up, or when they're having a problem, you're like, no, you got this. And so like it really does matter. So thank you to everybody for that. I think it was day 2. We were playing outside, and I popped open where I could like see like my hand, and I dropped my pencil, and I like had to find my pencil in the ground. And so that was like on the sides, and then it merged into the middle as people were talking and waving at me. So then I wasn't even paying attention because I was just focused on seeing. And then throughout the week, it changed and like it moved around. So I knew that I wasn't making it up because you want to second guess. But then we actually like did it in the dark, and I could see my hand move across the middle of my bridge. And then I was like, okay, this is real. And I went to bed. So I know it's real because I've seen my hand as like a dark silhouette, and it's in the front. Like you can't make this up. So
late at night going to bed, we've put the mask on in our room that's dark and getting it so you can see your hand close and
like
then
movement.
and then see your hand far away, like the outline, a dark outline. And now that's caused twice where I woke up in the middle of the night to fully like laying on the pillow with your hand, and somehow you're totally seeing your hand. And then I would open my eyes and be like, just happened. That's happened twice. Something to do with the brain being in that nighttime state or early morning. It's popped. And then today we were meditating, and we decided to lay down and go to sleep. And then when we got up from the meditation with our masks still on, I was moving my hand in front of my face, and I caught a full-blown finger for a second, got excited, and it disappeared.
Hey guys, so Anthony, I am visually impaired. Really amazed at the retreat last week because so much positivity, so much great people that I wish I could just have here around me all the time.
Yeah.
That was amazing. So I'm gonna keep soaking up on that great energy here. Thank you, Rob, for everything you're doing, and I can't wait to keep going.
Keith, it's your turn.
Noted that on day 5, I actually opened up, and the way it started with me is that, you know, you're looking through the mesh and seeing the holes. They start getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and then the lines between the mesh started disappearing. I was able to see a lot more, and then it just opened up about a window about this big that I was looking through. It was a huge window. I mean, I was so overwhelmed with my emotion that it's like, okay, after a second, it did start shutting down again. So I'm looking forward to opening it back up again. And this time, you know, keeping the tears in check so I can actually see properly.
John, we come up to you.
I too heard about seeing without eyes from the Superhuman documentary. When I came here to Vision Without Eyes, I started realizing that I could see some of the colors in light and dark. And then I didn't have a full opening, but I progressed to a point where I could start seeing the outlines of shapes if I really focused on it. And I got to a point where I started recognizing that I had the ability to see through different windows, even not directly in front of my eye. This program has showed me that it's kind of more spontaneous and spur of the moment. You can kind of practice when you want, and it shows up for you, and it's pretty awesome. So I am continuing on my journey, and I am very enthusiastic to see where it'll take me.
Carol and Pat, and Sharon's benefit. John is blind, and he was actually one of the first to start seeing things. I think it was on the Tuesday, John?
I think that's right.
Well done, John. And we all look forward to the day when you'll see each and every one of us on the screen in full detail.
Yes.
And full
Yeah.
color.
Yes.
Amazing, John.
Okay, Dahlia, you're next.
Like Neil and Bob, I know everybody. Yeah, I just witnessed so many. It's like everybody who opened, this was a life memory that they're going to remember for life. And I got to be a part of it. And it was so wonderful. And especially for the blind people, especially like when I saw John, he was starting to be able to distinguish things from vision, from light for the first time. That was just incredible. Like, and John just blows me away all the time. Like, I just remember like we were just sitting there on the last day at lunch, and I just randomly like, "Hey, John, what color is this cup?" And he really quickly he was able to say it. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, like, yeah, it's incredible. Like people's lives are being changed from what we're doing, and we're just all gonna learn so much from each other. I loved how everyone was putting their ideas in, and now, yeah, it's just incredible. And seeing people like Nikki is very like I love how she is brave enough to do all this stuff in public and bring all this awareness, and I love how she's showing people her mask so that everyone sees like it's a pitch black mask. Nobody can see through that thing but her. So I feel very much like Nikki's going to be on the news like very, very soon because she just loves being in public. But anyway, I love how it's very life-changing what we're doing.
Trish,
basically, obviously, I owe a ton of gratitude to everybody who was there, and I'm basically following in Claudia's footsteps because I have retinitis pigmentosa. Rob said there was a lot of similarities between some of the stuff she was experiencing that I was experiencing. Dahlia worked with me; she was impressed, and then Catherine. On day 5 at the end, she was holding up dice, and I was able to tell the color and the counted dice dots. And I have 5 windows, right, left, center, and my left ear and the back of my head.
Wow, fantastic, Trish. That's great.
My name's Kevin Bottoms. I said I'm a last name a lot. I've been playing with meditation and seeing some weird visual effects as I do that, and I'm going to keep forward, and I think it's just going to open right up. So I'm just going to keep playing with it.
Excellent. And if you stay in these classes, Pat's sister Pam opened right up in the class. She was kind of where you are now. Just stay with it and you'll get it. Everybody has this ability, so you just have to let it come wandering out.
I'm Leanne, totally blind for the last 13 years, and this was such a fun seminar. I had a great time. I'm very intuitive. I'm doing really good at that, and they said that's the first step. So I'm pretty psyched to move on to the next step.
Actually past the intuitive stage, you're right on the edge. It's like a thin piece of paper. You just got to flick it or hit it and it's going to open. You're literally right there. Bennett.
I had a fantastic time at the event. I did have some brief experiences of looking straight through the mask. I saw Judy's face very clearly twice. I saw the arms of several of the attendees. I saw my own legs. I don't know what this is about seeing body parts. I think I'm going to be looking through people's clothing, and I'm going to get arrested for that here in Texas. But the most important thing for me was at the end when I spent a good deal of time with Dahlia and with Alec in exercises that were a little bit different from the previous days. And I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very anxious to continue the processes that we started there.
Go ahead, Lee.
I've been working with children for years now with this, and for me, it's just magic. I opened up very early on with 2 windows. I don't remember anymore. Since I've been home, they want to play games with me. So one day it's like 2 children. Like one day this one wants attention, one day that one wants attention. And then, there's down here, and they're starting to come together a lot more. And it's like others, it's lightening up here. To me, it's so magical. So
Yes,
I'm thrilled that I, got to the next stage. I'm going to have a little party with some of the kids, and I'm going to be doing it with them. By the way, John did spell 2 words. I think it was hat and hot.
Very good, John.
Wow. Yay, John.